Hey, what's up, friends? Yeah, I wanted to make a video for people who are feeling lost and stuck in life and sort of how to get back on the path. And I just want to say if you're if you're in that place, I'm standing shoulder to shoulder with you by way of I feel lost and I feel stuck, and it's not the first time in my life. And I find whenever you're lost for something, wherever you're lost, or you're stuck and you don't know where to go, you're always now then you start trying to find something, right? You try to find your path, you try to get back to it. And I always wonder, like, what is that thing that we're searching for, and is it outside of us? Because I always find when I'm lost, it's a lot of the externalities of life that I go searching for, right? It's like, well, maybe there's something else I could be doing in my career. um, Maybe there's some other pursuit that I need to be involved with that is going to help me feel whole and like I'm on the right path. And it's in that constant excavation, which I find is a little bit of a stressful place, right? Because whenever you look back in your life and you've gone through something really hard, understanding that that's where your periods of growth and development ultimately come from are, when you're in it and you're feeling lost, it can be there can be a lot of stress involved. And you know, I know we all have a lot of stress in our lives, and the current uh, macro conditions of the world geopolitically, and um, I think it's scary, right? There's some we're on the precipice of some very large events, and there's a lot of questions that come out of that in what's going to happen next. And I feel like finding your way when you're lost or you're stuck, it has to be balanced, right? Because there are external actions that are going to help center us, help ground us, um, in feeling purposeful and finding our way again, and getting unstuck, as it were. And it's not always easy to find the answer, because sometimes what we need is so close we don't even know. But there's also the other side of it, where you know the world is the world is moving. um, the seasons continue to cycle through, and I think that ultimately the control that we have in our life is probably a lot less than we think, right? I think the cycles that we go through are ultimately going to happen whether we want them to or not. And so that's where that concept of really radical acceptance comes into play, where there's so much that's out of our control, and if we try to spend our whole life controlling life, we're not going to have a life lived. We're going to have a life stressed out by everything that's going on. So just being able to accept everything in the moment, even though it's impossibly easy to say and impossibly hard to do, is such an important thing to really ground yourself on and center yourself on. Um, because when you can accept what's going on around us, I feel like it's a lot easier to accept what's going on inside of us. And that can be the other part of that balance point, right? Where we can do the external activities in the world, to take care of ourselves and make sure that our our different outlets in life are being nourished, whether it's creativity or relationally or physically. But we also have to develop that relationship with ourself internally, and that's the balance point, and really accepting the situation for what it is, not trying to control it, and for really trying to really feel and develop that sense of self-worth and love. Because I think once we can, love ourselves, and we can take the external actions in the world that is going to nourish our body, mind, and our souls, I think that's ultimately where you want to be. But it takes some searching, and it takes some action, and it also takes that acceptance of being, and just being okay that, the world is going around the sun one more time, and we can't control that, and we are where we are in that moment, and that's perfectly okay, and nothing that happens is good or bad. We just have to accept it and take control over the things that we do have, which is our immediate physical surroundings, and how we show up in the world. So I don't think there's any answers to being lost or stuck. There's just the work. There's the work that, we can do with our physical bodies. And there's the work that we can do with our mind and our heart, and just accepting what is. And I think that's really all there is. And, anyways, I hope this was helpful for whoever's going through some difficult stuff. Talk soon.